The Premier League is always a fight for the top 4 and a scrap to avoid the bottom 3. So I decided to make it way more interesting. But I went and changed the rules of the league structure, meaning 12 teams are now relegated every single season. Well, I actually have Dan, a database creator, to thank for setting this one up for me. But the structure goes further because in the Sky Bet leagues below, you can either go up or you go down. There's no in between. You will never see a team stay in the same division again, as it is impossible. The top 12 are promoted and the bottom 12 are relegated until you get into the Vanarama National League. And I have simulated this format for 100 years just to see what chaos we can create. Also, yes, I'm fully aware Tom FM has literally just done a video exactly the same as this. I promise you it's just a massive coincidence. I messaged him about it, and to show you there, I actually created it a few days before he actually uploaded his. He just uploaded his a little bit earlier than mine, and I'm going on holiday, so I have no time to record anything different. So just a coincidence. Now, in the first season, there aren't that many casualties that you'd expect to go down in the bottom 12 than what it would be. The kind of like the top 8 teams are really in there, really. So nobody just yet, but as we go throughout the years, one of these teams is going to start slipping up, and then it's how far down they actually slip down, because again, as soon as you go into the championship, you either go back up or you go back down. I'm hoping it's not the same 12 teams that go down can go back up, because we know kind of the finances and everything like that. It's kind of broken on FM. I think it tends to be whoever gets promoted kind of goes back down quite often in my games, which isn't very realistic. We all know that. So we'll see how that plays out throughout each year. But again, Sky Bet League 1 is exactly the same. My Plymouth team's going down, even though they were the champions this year. They go down into Sky Bet League 2 and etc. And I think it's quite nice for the Vanarama National League, because usually you only get 2 teams go up, and it's very hard to get out of that league. Now, it's the easiest it's ever been. Now, we will take bigger jumps into the future when we go a little bit further into this video, but for now, I just want to see what the repercussions are of each of the seasons. So, yeah, as I kind of expected, because of the way that this is going to play out very early, in the early days anyway, the 12 teams that went up are all going back down. So it's still the same 8. Now, hopefully, one of the Premier League teams didn't survive. No, they all did. So, because again, they're going up against teams from Sky Bet League 1. It's going to take a while for this to actually have a big effect on these teams. Because if you think about it, in one season, you can kind of get away with keeping all of your players, especially if a lot of the other teams are in the same boat. So we're not going to see that many transfers, especially after first couple of seasons. When we start seeing takeovers and stuff like that, that's when it might happen that we see a few of these teams go down a second division and go into League 1 from the Premier League. But for now, it's not quite happened. Birmingham, though, have. That's what I've noticed straight away. Birmingham have gone straight back down, which I think they're the only one. They are the only championship team that's gone straight back down. They are the first casualty that we have had. Sky Bet League 2, Plymouth are champions. That's great for me. And then a lot of, but not all of them, from the Vanarama National League have also gone down. So the likes of Wrexham are going straight back up. That's quite good, isn't it? I like that. Okay, we'll see how this keeps playing out. Okay, we're 5 seasons in now, or 5 years in, whatever it is. The Premier League looks like this. So we've got Tottenham going down, Manchester United going down, Brighton going down this season anyway. Now, the league winners are kind of who you'd expect. Chelsea snagged one there. But we're not seeing anybody from the Championship survive from the original Championship just yet. We might have gone past that. But let's take a look in the Championship. We've got quite a lot of the actual Championship clubs coming back up. A lot of them going back down again. I can't see a Premier League club in there. So, is this all Premier League clubs? Brighton, Brentford, yes, as far as I'm aware. So, it looks like they are literally just going up and down, up and down, up and down for now. In the Sky Bet League 1, Plymouth getting promoted there. That's good. Derby, Ipswich, Portsmouth. The bigger teams of Sky Bet League 1 are going up. I still haven't seen Birmingham, though. Did Birmingham go back up? I still haven't seen Birmingham. Birmingham could cease to exist at this point. Sheffield Wednesday going down. Okay. Luton, Sky Bet League 2. Remember, Luton are playing in the Premier League this season coming. So, quite a big thing for them. Birmingham are getting promoted back into Sky Bet League 1 after getting relegated into the Sky Bet League 2 probably up and down, I'd imagine. If we have a look at their history summary, yeah, they went down twice, been promoted, relegated again. So yeah, not doing too good for Birmingham. Where did Wrexham finish in the end? Did Wrexham go up to a point, and now we're seeing them get relegated into Sky Bet League 2. Okay, that's 5 years on, though. It's gonna start getting worse. Okay, we're in 2037, so we're about 15 years into the future. We can see pretty much the same similar clubs are up there. Southampton have done quite well there. They're in the UEFA Champions League spots. Going down, Arsenal, Tottenham have been going up and down, it seems. I bet they're a bit of a yo-yo. Yeah, they are a yo-yo club. So since the start of this, they managed to survive a couple of seasons. Then they were down, up, and that's all they've done ever since, which is quite funny, to be fair. But the actual, what I do want to, I'm curious to see whether, like, any of the current championship sides have survived yet. Norwich, there's one. So it is possible. It is possible for a current championship team to build a side and actually survive. Brentford are doing quite well. I've seen those a few times, as well as Southampton finishing 5th there. So it is possible. They can definitely do it. Now, do we have any stragglers in lower divisions who are getting relegated again? So Sutton have come up quite nicely because they're in the championship here. They are relegated, as well as Tranmere, but they've got up there to begin with. I can't see anybody who I wouldn't expect to be in there who are going up into the Premier League. Plymouth, again, they look like they've been a yo-yo side. They have, from the Championship to League One. So this is going to create quite a lot of yo-yo teams, it seems, from just that. But it only takes that one chance. So Bournemouth are down in Sky Bet League 1, of course, a current Premier League side. They are being promoted back into the Championship. Is there anybody that's lower, though? Middlesbrough down in Sky Bet League 2 here after 15 seasons. Gloucester up into Sky Bet League 1 next year. That's very nice, as well as South Shields and Chorley. So this is great because we might see a few of these non-league sides come all the way up. Birmingham are going back down, it seems. Yep, they've been up and down from the Vanarama National League. Ooh, that's interesting, isn't it? So, yeah, that's kind of who I'd expect. Who is that? Is anybody in there? I can't think that I've missed any of the Exeter getting relegated from the National League. As a Plymouth Argyle, well, as a Plymouthian, there's nothing better to see there than Exeter getting relegated from that division. Swindon and Gillingham, two massive clubs that are down there that really, really shouldn't be. So, a quarter of the way through, which is 25 years, in case your maths isn't as good as mine. Let's take a look at the Premier League. We've got Manchester United as the champions, but I can see Southampton have been winning things here, so we're only going back another 10 years. Hull City are there in 6th place. That's great to see. We've got relegated teams like Tottenham going down. I can't see Arsenal, so I'm wondering whether Arsenal are in the championship and coming back up. They are. They've just won the league. They won it the season before that as well. So Arsenal are now one of the yo-yo clubs, as we can see. So we are laughing at Tottenham first, and now Arsenal is exactly the same situation. They're going up, they're coming back down. Sunderland, Luton, they're getting relegated, so they've probably been the same scenario, but in the championship, going into Sky Bet League 1. Plymouth coming back up again. I can't see. There's definitely Premier League clubs that are missing from this, because there's not enough of the Premier League. So Portsmouth just being relegated. I've glossed over that, but they've managed to get up there. So there must be somebody who's straggling at some point as we go further down. Blackburn coming up from Sky Bet League 2. We've got South Shields coming back up again. Preston going down into the Vanarama National League. That would be absolutely devastating. Darlington. I haven't seen Birmingham yet. We've seen Birmingham, who are in a lot of... I still haven't seen Birmingham. No way is Birmingham in the Vanarama, like, National League North or South. Wherever they are. They're there. Oh, wow. That is a fall from grace. Is Birmingham's fall there. Down in 6th place in the Vanarama National League North. Okay, fair enough. Now, what I do want to see, we'll take a quick look at the Premier League stages, and we can see who has been surviving each season. So even like West Ham there, they got relegated, but they still got Europa League football, so that's quite hilarious, really. Crystal Palace surviving there. Obviously, Southampton's been winning the league. They've done really well there. Like, they lost 5 games that season. Hull have seemed to be doing quite well, because I've seen them quite a few times. Newcastle was another one who Sometimes they stay up, sometimes they go down. The epitome of yo-yo football, West Brom. They survived 1 year. I'm proud of them. That's very good indeed. They knocked down Arsenal, who also had relegation plus Europa League football one season. It's quite fun, this, to be fair. And by the way, if you're wanting to have the database, what I'll do is I'll stick it a link in the description. All I ask you do, if you do download it, is give Dan a follow, who created this database. I'll leave his Twitter link there alongside the link for this database should you wish to play it or experiment it with yourself. Drop him a follow, as well as give this a little bit of a download if you're a Twitter user, please. Follow me too, if you don't mind. That'd be great. Big jump then. We've gone 50 years into the future. Not from where we were, but to 2072. So 50 years as from the start of the experiment to see what's happening. Now, Liverpool are your current champions. Everton are also there. Man United, Chelsea. So the usual suspects, as well as Everton, Southampton, who seem to be doing really well. Hull are still hanging on there. Tottenham are the definition. Oh, they did stay up a few seasons. But they've gone back to the yo-yo club, up and down, the West Broms is what I like to call it, or Norwich recently, haven't they? They've gone up and come down quite a lot recently. So Hull City have done exceptionally well. They've gone up a few times, they've stayed down very rarely. Every time they've gone down, they have come straight back up, but there's been a few occasions where they have survived, and I'm happy for them, because Hull City fans have not had the best of times in the last, 10 years since they got relegated from the Premier League in real life. So that's quite nice for them. Brighton going up and down, I can see there. Crawley, hello! Crawley have gone all the way up into the Premier League. That's probably from signing all of those YouTubers that they like to do, don't they? Every now and then they do some random things like that. But that has got to be one of the smallest clubs we have seen so far in the Premier League manage to get there. I wonder whether this is you tend to see more exciting things, well, not exciting, but more unique clubs if you were to just sim it with the usual up and down relegation than what it is like this. I'm finding it quite bizarre that we're not seeing more, to be honest. Leeds there going down into Sky Bet League 1. Are we going to see anybody else? Wolves coming back up. So a few Premier League clubs here down in Sky Bet League 1 who have dropped down twice, which is quite interesting. Dulwich Hamlet, who have been up in Sky Bet League 1. A few of the Vanarama National League clubs have come up a couple of times. Wrexham and Notts County doing the business again this season. Still haven't seen Birmingham, which means if they've really dropped off, which is quite hilarious, unless they've managed to come up in this bit. They haven't. Exeter going down again. So Coventry coming up there, who have obviously playoff finalists. Now you find yourself Vanarama National League. They've actually come up a few times because they won the Vanarama National League there as well. So they've gone up and gone down a few times there. But Birmingham City must be in the Vanarama National League North still. They are. They're in 9th place. Mid-table mediocrity just blending in with Bamber Bridge and Barrow. What it has actually done is allowed a few of these sort of Premier League clubs that you never would expect to do very well to actually do really well in Europe as well. Because if we take a look at the Champions League, I mean, the early years are dominated by the likes of Liverpool, Barcelona, Man City, etc. But you got a little bit further up to recent times. You got a couple of Everton wins here in 25, 56, 56, 57, and again in 61, 62, 69 and 70. Southampton a couple of times there as well. Ajax have actually done the business there, which is unbelievable, really, when you consider I haven't loaded the Dutch league. The fact that they've managed to build a team to beat, the big European giants was quite nice. As well as Porto. Hold on. A Champions League final between Porto and Ajax without loading either of their leagues. Well, that's interesting. Very well done to you two teams. 75 years into the future then, let's take a look. Now our Premier League does look a little different. Hello, we got Brentford and Hull, we got Newcastle up there, Southampton and Everton are dominating the top 4. Tottenham are still your favourite yo-yo team going up and down every single season, as well as Arsenal. Yes, the two North London clubs bouncing up and down from the Championship, which is hilarious. The past winners then of the Premier League, a lot is Manchester United, Liverpool, Southampton and Everton. Those seem to be the 4 teams out, and Newcastle have finished 2nd place so many times. That is ridiculous. Man City, I haven't seen a lot. Now, their club history does suggest that they've been in the Premier League this whole time. They have. Right, okay. They've managed to do that, which is quite well done, but they've come close. They finished 7th a couple of times that I can see there. That's very interesting, isn't it? I mean, they're still quite rich. Well, actually, no, they're not. Their balance is only £16 million. Maybe they're not that rich. Their best player is this guy. He has a hilarious name, Ludwig Phaeton. Does look quite good, though. Okay, let's stop looking at Manchester City then. We'll go and have a look at other divisions. The Championship. We've got Wolves and Palace coming back up. We've got Brighton. Any teams that have been up, I mean, Crawley, we've seen they were doing quite well before. Filed, that's quite high for them, isn't it? That is quite high for them. Into the Sky Bet League 1, Leicester were down there with Bournemouth, who are now coming back up with Plymouth and Wrexham going into the Championship. That's lovely. Have Plymouth ever been in the Premier League? That would be nice if they've managed to ever do it. It doesn't look like it. They've been the yo-yo club in these two divisions by the looks of it. They've never been in the Premiership that I can see. Unless my... Oh, they did! 56, 57. Oh, good. Very pleased. So I would have, in my lifetime, I would have probably took my kids to a Premier League game at Home Park. Which would have been great. Leeds are going down into Sky Bet League 2. That's very low for a Premier League club. So we are seeing some drop off here. Are they the lowest current Premier League side? Obviously, they've been relegated this year, but were they compared to what actually is on the game? Obviously, it does seem like it so far. I haven't seen anybody that's any lower. Luton, of course, will be a Premier League side next year. Haven't seen anybody as low as that Leeds team who will be spending their next season in Sky Bet League 2. It does look like that. Has Birmingham, though, managed to come up from Sky Bet? Unless I am completely blind, I haven't seen them. That's the Sky Bet. I mean, sometimes they could drop into the south, depending on how many teams are there. Billericay's coming up there. So I haven't seen Birmingham. Unless my eyes were blind. They're in League 2. Oh my God, they've done the big climb. Oh, well done. They've climbed back up. I wouldn't want to see them too damaged. They are getting relegated back into the Vanarama National League, but they're still there for the time being. They did have a little bit of success. They went all the way up into League 1, back down. Oh, they're 2 back-to-back relegations. That's a shame. We'll see them in another 25 years back down in the Vanarama National League where they belong. Okay, we're now 100 years into the future. This is a weird experiment. I kind of didn't expect the results that we have seen, but at the same time, when you think about it, yeah, it makes sense for this to happen. So, Manchester United are your current champions. Looks like they've been dominant in the last few years with Liverpool and Southampton again. Hull have won the Premier League. Oh, Hull City fans, I'm absolutely... I'm overjoyed for you guys. You finished 3rd a couple of times, 2nd in 21-07-08. You won the Premier League, and if that's not something to be happy about, I don't know what is. You've only got nearly 100 years to wait before that absolute success, so that's great. We can see no Man City. Yep. Man City did get themselves relegated. Brentford and Portsmouth managed to get a Champions League spot. So, did Portsmouth just win a Europa League or something? They did, 21-22. That's fantastic for them. I'm really aghast for them. Into the Championship then, Manchester City are coming back up behind Fulham and Newcastle, Leicester, Tottenham. Come on, Tottenham. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Every single season, they're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. Plymouth are going back into the Premier League in this next season. That's great, alongside Arsenal. Leeds being back down in relegation there. Who is going to be the lowest? We've seen it was Leeds previously going into Sky Bet League 2, but... there could be one that would be lower now, which would knock them out. Wolves there going up into the Championship. A few clubs that I would expect to be around this position. There's Birmingham again. Birmingham going back down into Vanarama National League. They've been up and down again. Sky Bet League 1, they were up into that point, but they've been yo-yo in between a lot of the time, the Vanarama National League and Sky Bet League 2. Into that Sky Bet League 2 and into the Vanarama National League, we can see, I can't see the lowest Premier League side. So it must be what we've just previously passed. Whatever team that was in Sky Bet League 1. That's the low. Sunderland are down there in Vanarama National League North. And Preston. That's 2 massive clubs. That should not be that low. Really. At all. So that's quite interesting. And in Sky Bet League, or the Vanarama National League South, sorry, do we have anybody as big as that? I feel like that's got to be the biggest club that's that far down. I think it is, you know. That is the lowest team that we have seen of that size. Sunderland, definitely. In the Valorant National League North, and they're not even going back up. So if they just recently, yeah, they just recently got relegated, but they have been in that situation a few times going up and down. Whoa, that's a huge club to go down that far. Fair enough. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this experiment. Let me know if you want to see anything else like this. It requires some sort of like database changes. We'll see if it's possible. But if you have enjoyed it, smash a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.